looking at transforming our heavy-duty vehicle fleet from diesel to natural gas. So there are presidential directives now to start moving our fuel system from an oil-based system to more of a gas-based system in order to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions and make an impact on climate change and our natural environment. So that is something that's important to us and important to the president, and we are moving very quickly towards that and making those types of investments. I show you this slide just to see that it's not only the United States that has these kind of resources that are potentially available. You can see that South America, Europe, Africa, and China and India have shale plays that are available. A lot of the Indian shale has not been fully mapped. There needs to be the kind of government investment or others or private investment in doing some of these seismic studies in India. The U.S. government has brought out the U.S. Geological Survey to do some initial studies. Some were more hopeful than others, but there really needs to be that kind of investment and patient funding that needs to come in. And some of the conclusions I want to talk about just a bit are that all of this required patience and the expectation of losses. The investing in all of this over a 30-year period, I mean, you have to have a long time horizon. And it's very hard for companies, for entrepreneurs, to have a 30-year view, particularly in today's day and age of quarterly reports and making investors happy. So that patient money generally needs to come from the government and needs to be forward-looking. And that was what the U.S. did, and we are reaping the benefits of that forward-thinking 30 years ago right now. Second thing I'd like to say is our fixed-price gas policy failed. It was a complete failure. And if India would like to learn a little bit from our experience in the United States, I would like to share that. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here in this audience, but I do want to say that part of the enabling environment was releasing the price of gas to the market, to market forces, letting it set it at the wellhead, and that supply and demand dynamics, let that set the investment strategy for oil and gas companies, because they will act in their best interest and want to maximize their returns and will invest in exploration when they feel that they're going to get an appropriate return. I guess I've really kind of talked about government support for technologies without intervening in the market. That was also critical. $10 billion is a lot of money to invest in tax breaks for oil and gas companies, which are not politically popular in the United States, as they would not be politically popular here. But it was critical, whether it was popular or not, to get this moving forward and to get this technology off the ground. It worked. It made a difference. That kind of support for our entrepreneurs and those developing these technologies was critical to making this happen for the United States. And the U.S. government is reaping the benefit now of all of that gas production that you saw. As that's monetized, we collect taxes. So that $10 billion was actually an investment in our industry so that we could reap the benefit as well. So as we financially recover the U.S. government and our revenues are coming up, a lot of that is from taxing the income made on those gas plays. Last thing I want to say is that India has shale potential. It needs to look at it and invest in it through researching and mapping and geological studies. And again, this is coming from our experience by providing that. The companies then came in and determined which shale plays were most financially feasible and came in and made the difference in the market. And that's all for me. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time and listening to my presentation.